I'm going to show you a shortcut on how to find the inverse of a 2 by 2 matrix. Now this only works for 2 by 2 matrices, but here's how it goes. If you have a 2 by 2 matrix, it's invertible as long as AD minus BC isn't 0. So that's the downs product minus the ups product. So as long as that's not 0, you can use this formula. It's 1 over the downs minus the ups, and then in this matrix you exchange and you change. The exchange is with the down diagonal, so swap the places, and then for the up diagonal you just change the signs. So exchange and change. Okay, here's an example. Matrix B is 3, 9, negative 2, negative 7. Now to find the inverse, what we're first going to do is take 1 over the downs minus the ups. The downs are negative 21, 3 times negative 7, so negative 21, minus the ups, and the ups are negative 18. Then in this new square matrix, I'm going to do the exchange change. I'm going to exchange what was in red, so that means the negative 7 goes here and the 3 goes here, and then I'm going to change the signs on the other two. So the negative 2 becomes positive and the 9 becomes negative. Okay, let's clean that up a little bit. For the downs minus the ups, I get negative 21 minus a negative, that's plus, so I get 1 over negative 3. So that's a negative 1/3. And then I'm going to multiply that by this matrix. And so my final answer for the inverse matrix of B is 7/3, 9/3, which is 3, negative 2/3, and negative 3/3, which is negative 1. Okay, so just to review how I got that, I did distributive. I took negative 1/3 times negative 7, negative 1/3 times negative 9, negative 1/3 times 2, and negative 1/3 times 3. And And so that is the inverse. Here's another example. I'd like you to stop the video and try and work it out yourself and then come back. Okay, for the inverse, I'm going to do 1 over the downs minus the ups. The downs are 3 times 5, that's 15, minus the ups, 9 times 2, which is 18. And then in my matrix here, I'm going to do the exchange change. I'm going to exchange the 3 and the 5. And I'm going to change the signs on these two, but leave them where they are. So I have negative 9 and negative 2. For my downs minus my ups, I get 1 over negative 3, that's negative 1/3, times this matrix. And when I multiply negative 1/3 times all of the elements, my final answer is negative 5/3, positive 2/3, positive 3, and negative 1. And that is the inverse. I want to show you one more. If I'm taking the inverse of C, I'm going to start with 1 over the downs minus the ups. So when I look at the downs, I get a positive 12, minus, and when I do the ups, I get a positive 12. And I'm going to stop right there because it doesn't matter what I have here. This fraction here is 1 over 0. That's 1 over 0. And our rule said that we have to have the downs minus the ups has to be something that is not 0. So mathematically this doesn't work because we don't divide by 0. So this is called a singular matrix. It's either called non-invertible or it's called singular. Now just remember that this shortcut rule only works for 2 by 2 matrices.